These two idiots. Be ashamed of yourself.
Welcome to another episode of Frank Stallone. Who is this guy? The most celebrated, awesomest, popular. This podcast, Doug, is taking the world by storm.
Yeah, I can't believe the popularity it's gained over the couple months that we've been doing this. It's taking off like a rocket ship, buddy.
It's like a Elon Musk rocket ship. It takes off, and there's no failures. Lands back at its little cubicle holder when it's all done.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm really excited to figure out who Frank Stallone is, and we're trying to figure out who he is. The way we try to figure out who Frank Stallone is well, he has to tell us, right? It's him telling us who he is, what he represents, what he goes for, and the way that he does that, as of course, as an A-list celebrity, is via his Instagram. And today, it's not a podcast review episode, guys. It's actually back to the old Instagram feed. So things that Frank talks about today. Yeah, it's a little bit of quote-unquote old news, but I think it's important that we still hear what Frank has to say about some of the big topics in the last couple of months, because without his insight, you're going to hear not just insight, but some of the policies that if he was in power, we could have in place, it would make America and the world a better place.
You may not know it by just looking at him or fumbling through his Instagram, but he's very opinionated. He has very strong opinions. I would say that they're one-sided. He doesn't really jump the fence too much towards the other side, but he is not afraid to tell you exactly how he feels politically and about, just world events, things going on around him. And I'm curious to see what he's up to lately. He's going to tell you how he feels.
That's what we love about Frank. Yeah, he's an open book, that's for sure. Okay, we're going to talk about the drones, things that he wishes we could do regarding the drones at the time. Of course, the fires in his neck of the woods, literally.
So drones is actually hit home for me because it was in my neck of the woods. The drones were flying over my area and we saw them. My son was calling me from his mom's house, all freaked out about it too. So I'm curious to see what Frank has to say.
Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday. That means football day. And the Detroit Lions play the Bills.
So you'll hear the video speed up. What I've done there is, you've mentioned before, Doug, about his ability to segue. Is a great segues. So he starts the video off just talking about football, and he goes into a whole discussion about football, but football. So you're going to hear the speed up because he gets through the football, then he'll segue to the next topic very quickly.
And also, what's going on with these drones? No one's saying anything. This could be really creepy. And I don't know about you. I wouldn't like one of these things flying over my farm or my house. So I think the new administration will find out. And
So Frank's concerned. He finds the drones creepy. Did you find the drones creepy, Doug, in your neck of the woods?
We just couldn't understand where they were coming from and what they were trying to accomplish. And it was very frustrating that we were getting zero answers from anybody. Turned out they were nothing, but
yeah, of course. Yeah, the official statement is that they're nothing, but I just love how Uncle Frank calls them creepy. It's not creepy.
Yeah. No, people fly drones. It was just the organization, the formation of them was a little weird. But
didn't the Trump administration come out with a official statement? So Frank is going to say that when the Trump administration does take over, that will be good to go, that they'll have an answer. And I believe Trump has now given an answer. What did the administration say they were?
He said they were test flights done by the FAA and hobbyists that joined the party.
Yeah, that actually kind of just makes sense. It was a thing that they didn't announce to the public that they were going to do. I'm in the military. We don't always announce what we're doing. We don't really have to. We do exercises all the time. It's not like, hey, guys, we're doing an exercise in this field at this time within our nation borders. Come check it out. Like, we don't draw attention to exercise. We don't have to. There's no point. So they were doing the same thing. They were just doing something. And yeah. And then I love how hobbyists are like, hey, there's drones in the area. Let's go join the fun. So it's a bit of
Exactly.
Or a foreign entity bombs away, they're going to be dropping them like a bad habit.
So here we go. Frank, right away with the violence. He's saying that this drone issue is a foreign entity. His verdict, or his edict, I should say, is bombs away. They're going to be dropping out of the sky like a bad habit. His philosophy is just to have these machinery falling on the public after we destroy them in the air.
We could play a fun game if Frank was in charge. Like, what would he do? He would aim missiles everywhere. Just saying, where are these drones coming from? You better speak up.
I love it. I love his philosophy. Yeah, blast them out of the air and just have them fall haphazardly over the public, because that always goes well. Machinery is falling from the sky on the public. That's always a good thing.
So have a wonderful day. It's a little overcast here.
I see a segue. Hey, after we destroy everything above us, have a wonderful day. And it's a bit of overcast over here in LA or wherever.
Los Angeles, have a wonderful day. Thank your God, whoever your religion is. Show gratitude. It's good to be alive.
This guy. So show your God gratitude, whoever it is.
As long as it's a Christian God, thank your God, whoever it may be, God, Christian God.
I'm agnostic, almost an atheist. Do I have to pray or worship anyone in the process?
I mean, who are you listening to, Frank, or every other human being on the planet?
Yeah, exactly.
So God bless you. Have a wonderful day of football. And if you want to stuff your face with something you normally don't eat during the week, try to stay in shape. Treat yourself.
Okay, yeah. So treat yourself.
We got permission from
the
Frank.
holidays. Look at his jacket, Doug. What do you notice? A little bit on his jacket. Can you see that?
Is it snowing in there?
He is wearing a toque, as we say in Canada, or a snow cap. Yeah, he's wearing a snow. You're right. He might have just gotten out of the snow. You're right. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Give the guy the benefit of the doubt. His kitchen looks like every man's kitchen. There's nothing flashy. Those cabinets look like the cabinets I have in my kitchen. The refrigerator looks identical to mine. I mean, he's got more money than I have, me and you combined, but
yeah, he's odd. He's the common man. He's the common man. Don't kid yourself. He's down with us in the trenches, okay? He represents the common man here. But I just want you to look throughout all these videos. The snow inside the house seems to follow him throughout all the videos on today's episode. He just seems to have snow follow him wherever he goes, or cat lint, one of the two. There we go.
You better get his roof checked out.
Now he's in his car, seatbelt on, he's driving safely. And again, he's going to start the video talking off about football and then speed up when he gets to the topic he wants to talk about.
Hello. Well, congratulations to the Buffalo Bills. And the Lions came back tough, but just had too many mistakes. Cannot wait.
Okay, so now he's going to get into, of course, he's talking about how he cannot wait for the change of command in the States. Of course, the Trump presidency is taken over and the Biden administration will be leaving. We heard in the last video, show love, show gratitude, be a kind person. And I just want you to hear his well wishes for the departing administration.
You know what I noticed is that in the last video, when he was saying "Go Lions," he was wearing his Lions toque, as you would call it. Now the Lions are out, so he's wearing a Philadelphia Eagles one. So his loyalties, man, flip-flop with the win. Whoever wins the game.
He did talk in a previous, or I don't know if it's previous or later, I don't think we're going to show, but in his Instagram feed, at one point, he does mention that he's always going for the underdogs, Doug. It's the Rocky spirit. He goes for the underdogs. So that's what you're seeing. So whoever the underdog team is the one he's going for. Which, speaking of which, at the time it's recording, the Super Bowl is coming up with the Eagles and Kansas City. I'm not a football person. Who is considered the underdog in that matchup?
The Eagles are the underdog because Kansas City has Taylor Swift on their team, and she's the moneymaker, so that's all that anybody cares about.
Okay, fair enough.
I've been waiting for bated breath for 4 years to get Sleepy Joe out of office. And, our favorite person, Nancy Pelosi, broke her hip. Boo-hoo.
Show love, be kind.
Isn't Nancy Pelosi 75 years old?
No, she's older. She's like 82. 70.
Oh, she's in her 80s? And he's hip hip hooray over her busting her hip. Oh, God. Not a good look, Frank.
It really isn't. Like, you can disagree with someone's politics. I get it. Trust me. I get it. I understand. There's people I disagree with. I don't wish physical pain. My father, this is kind of, it's not really private, but he actually just recently broke his hip a couple months ago over the Christmas holidays. He broke his hip. and you had to get hip surgery replacement. It's a really painful and terrible situation to be in. To wish that on an older person is actually quite cruel, and to say boo-hoo about it. She's somebody's wife, mother, grandmother.
So hopefully she'll be exit stage right. I think she's useless now anyway. I think she was useless her whole life, but I think
useless her whole life.
And when he says hopefully she'll be exit stage right, does he mean retiring or something worse?
Oh, I never considered that. We know Frank would never wish that. He only wishes broken hips on them. I think he's okay if they're alive and suffering, not dead. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a monster. Let's be honest.
now she is coming on grata. So on that note,
what will Frank say next? On that note, let's see.
Have a beautiful day.
Hey, Nancy, with the broken hip. Have a beautiful day, everyone else that agrees with me that is on my side of politics. Have a beautiful day.
That was great. Yeah, he comes off of a tirade wishing Nancy Pelosi nothing but the worst. And yes, have a beautiful day. His conscience is clear.
Yeah, that's right.
And upstairs, show gratitude, and may the good Lord take a liking.
All right. I really hope the good Lord is taking a liking to Frank. He deserves it.
All right.
Now you hear that really quickly there. Did you hear that? Did you hear that quick? All right. That's Alex with the cue to go. We've heard it before, but it's so odd to me. Can't they just do the 3, 2, 1 or something with the fingers, right?
Some kind of hand signal would suffice.
Yeah, we get it. You're recording. Okay, Frank, this is big. You're going live to everyone. You're going live.
I always knew Joe Biden was incompetent, stupid. You're selling our wall, which costs the American public hundreds and hundreds, maybe $1 billion of your taxpayers' money, selling it for 5 cents on the dollar.
Okay. He was selling excess materials.
Yeah, the materials that they bought to build the wall but didn't actually use. Apparently he was selling off, or he was trying to sell off for pennies on the dollar, which would screw the incoming administration.
Okay. All right. But is that because the wall didn't get built, or it's not going to be built, or was it designed to sabotage the wall building, or was it actually extra stuff that they wouldn't use had the wall been built? I'm confused about that.
No, the wall was never finished. So that was materials that were going to go towards continuing to build it. But last I heard, it was blocked. They wouldn't allow it to go through Congress. But Biden tried to pull the rug out from underneath Trump and sell off the materials that the taxpayers bought for pennies on the dollar and force the administration to buy all new material.
Oh, I see. Okay. And what I love about Frank is no hyperbole when it comes to Frank.
Never.
To me, that sounds illegal. And I hope they put an injunction on it. And these people that are buying it are put in jail.
So remember, Frank's in power. So the people that are buying it, Doug, are in jail. You are a police officer, correct? So it's your job now, Doug. Sergeant Doug, we got people who just bought some of the wall. We need you to go and arrest them, please.
Yeah, in the purchaser's eyes, they're just buying cheap material, right? They're saying, oh, this stuff is very expensive. If I bought it at Home Depot, I could get it from this guy for almost nothing. I'm trying to build a wall at my house to protect me from my nosy neighbors.
Sure. If Biden makes it low, it's not the buyer's fault for buying. Hey, I'll take this opportunity to buy this crap. Sorry, you guys aren't building the wall, but I could build a new shed in my yard or whatever. Off to jail you go, according to Frank Stallone.
If he was in charge,
if he was in charge,
this is
go back to the game.
Really interrupting the game about keeping our border safe. Because Joe Biden and Mayorkas have blood on their hands. Little girls are getting murdered by illegals.
Thank goodness little boys aren't being murdered by illegals, just little girls. So only half the children's population is being murdered by illegals.
Yeah.
That's good.
And something has to be done. Bring the death penalty back.
Bring the death penalty back. He's feeling the heat right now.
I'm glad he's not a senator.
Kids like that, your life's not worth a plug nickel. But it just shows you how stupid this guy is. And Kamala. I mean, this is the worst administration probably in the history of America, probably in the history of America. Crime is at an all-time high, but it's all going to stop. We can't wait till January 20th. This could be a great time.
Did you notice it's snowing outside too here? It's sunny LA, but I think it might be snowing at the same time. Do you catch the snow in his clothing there? Or?
Yeah. It's definitely cold enough to snow because he's got the Lions hat back on. But yeah, he should carry an umbrella around or something. It's just too much snow.
It's weird. It's weird how it just snows right under his head. It never quite. There's not any snow on the snow cap.
No, it's actually under his chin where you think would be protected from the snow because your chin hangs over your shirt.
Or his pet cat was laying on his hoodie before he went outside today.
I just did a quick Google search because that sweatshirt kind of piqued my interest. It's a wall gas thing you wouldn't understand. Now, I don't know what the hell wall gas is. So many results pop up from the wall gas tree farm. Let me ask you if you think this might be it. Ad Walgas, the professional boxer, born in February of 1888, died in April of 1955. Think that's the guy?
Maybe. It's a wall. So then what Doug is saying, the hoodie says it's a wall gas thing you wouldn't understand. I get it. Yeah. Must be a boxing thing. You're right.
Must be.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that makes sense. His whole identity is boxing and music. And
it looks like we don't understand. His hoodie is true.
Big fight this weekend.
I love how he just finished wishing death and all the old administration and everyone who's buying materials to go to jail. Hey, by the way, Doug, there's a big fight this weekend.
Fury, that's going to be a good one. But other than that, just every day pray, be grateful that Trump and the administration are coming. Because, boy, if it wasn't, you see what he's doing now. Imagine where we'd be going down a rabbit hole.
And I'm not going to call out Trump supporters or Kamala supporters / Biden supporters. What I'm getting at with this statement is what we're seeing with Frank. I think this is the point with Frank, or people like Frank, lest Frank thinks we're speaking just strictly about him, is this fanaticism of thinking, everything that happens in government is just going to affect your life. Like you have child killers and rapists are now, have been doing. I mean, yes, does murder or crime, has it happened by illegal immigrants? Well, of course, it's documented to be true, but also it's happened by people that live in our own countries legally have committed murders and crimes. I don't have the data, but what I'm trying to say is this fear factor mongering that even Frank is even promoting. It's that extreme talk that now we don't want to listen to either side. I just want to have a calm, structured dialogue between both parties, but between both groups of people. And people get wrapped up in this hyperbole of everything's going to crap. We had 4 years of garbage, but here's Frank able to record on Wi-Fi outside of the city streets. And if it's so bad, how does he still have the freedom just to move around the streets? You know what I mean? You're not living in a country where it's a war-torn area. Like you have the ability to film this without worrying about a Scud missile hitting your building where you're filming. You get what I'm saying? Trust me, it could be a lot worse in other parts of the world.
Yeah, extremism either way is bad. The world would be a lot more happier if we kind of rode the middle, both sides.
Yes,
I think we'd agree on more things. But you're right in saying that as hopeless as Frank thinks it is, or it could have been, or it still could be, you still have the freedoms that most of the world does not. And those aren't really threatened in any way.
No.
Have a blessed day.
Bless his heart. He's really leaned into his religion the last couple of years. It seems to be like he's really come out as religious. I always say a true Christian, somebody who's a true believer, the best way to show your humility in your religion is to promote it and talk about it. I always find this the best way to showcase you're aligned with God is probably to promote it and to showcase where you are with God. I think that's the best way to be spiritually. What do you think, Doug?
Yeah, I for one love getting preached to. I mean, if you have beliefs that you want to impart on me, please, by all means, talk my ear off about it.
I just left church. Sometimes it's very good to humble yourself to Jesus.
Why the pause to Jesus?
He has so many things rolling around in his head that he lost his spot there for a second.
What's that guy's name up there again? Who's that guy that died for us? Oh, yeah, Jesus, yeah.
And try to better ourselves. It's a very simple thing. I drive by this church almost every day, and I try to step in and pray for my friends, my family, peace on earth.
So he tries to step in and to pray. You just do it or don't. Does he get to the door sometimes? I don't know if I can go in. And then he tries again the next day. Again, Doug, he's telling us, who does he pray for? He prays for his friends and his family, not his enemies, as the Bible.
Not Nancy Pelosi.
No, that are hip heels. Look, I admit I was raised religious. I'm no longer identified in any denomination, but I find that I'm still spiritual. I believe that there's obviously things that within the Bible teachings, of course, that are good. And one of the things that Jesus did teach, if I remember correctly, was to actually pray to love those who persecute you. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if Frank prays for them. I'm not sure. Does he pray for the Democratic Party? I don't know.
No, probably. Yeah, probably that they all take an exit stage. The thing about religion and praying to me is Frank, he's got a grandstand in front of a church with it in the background and say, I try to stop in and pray, whenever I can. How about this, Frank? Whenever you feel like praying, you pray, whether it's in your car, at your house, on the toilet, whenever it strikes you, pray. And try this on for size 2. Don't say a word about it. Nobody else needs to know your business. All right. It's between you and God, and that's where it should stay.
Agreed. Yeah, but Doug, you're not a spiritual person. You're not a religious person. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, is that? Oh, I'm sorry, Frank. Yeah, I don't have a leg to stand on here.
Frank is also going to tell us he's respectable when he enters the buildings. He's been wearing those snow caps all these other videos. He's going to address that right now.
And pray for myself to try to be a better person, be more tolerant. It's a good thing to do. Of course, I'm kind of an old school guy. I don't wear my hat in church. Only people who wore hats in church when I was growing up were ladies. Men took their hats off.
Men took their hats off. Okay, sure. So he just showed his snow cap / toque, and he said, just so you guys know, I took this off before I entered the building. But I didn't dress up for the occasion. I'm still wearing my gym shirt to the church, but whatever.
Yeah, it's such a non sequitur. It means nothing. Okay, good. You take your hat off. Guys, when you were a kid, took their hat. People don't wear hats to church. I don't.
I also take my pants off before I take a shite on the toilet, just so you know. Just so you know, Doug. Yeah, I know.
It's the least I can do.
It's the least.
Oh God, you're doing the Lord's work.
Imagine if you walked in the building with a snow cap on. God would strike you dead, Frank.
Yeah. If Frank was in charge, if he was running the show, it would be a law against wearing hats in church.
Share blessings to everybody. This is St. Paul, the Apostle Catholic Church, and I am a Roman Catholic, and I'm doing the best I can. God bless you all.
All right, so now the next video, he's wearing a Rocky Balboa hoodie.
Hey, folks.
Now this, I feel bad for Frank. I think he spilled some sort of like yogurt or something white all over his hoodie. See at the front there, he's got this hoodie will show up in a few videos, but it needs a good wash. But he might have spilt his cream on there or something, and it's snowing as well on the top.
This Saturday is the heavyweight championship of the world, and on that same note, let's start shooting these drones down.
He went to the boxing talk in the fast forward, of course, and then he's on that same note. Let's shoot these drones out of the sky, Doug.
Shooting the drones out of the sky. On the same note as boxing, that's a completely different note, Frank.
Now check it out. Now he makes a contest out of it. Says if you shoot the drones out of the sky, this is what you can win.
Oh no!
Let's say make that a heavyweight fight. We should make that a contest. Shoot a drone, win a brand new Tahoe truck or something like that.
Wow, that's who's going to buy that? You?
Can you imagine? You bring in the drone kill, like when you're hunting, you hold the quail by the feet.
Yeah.
You go to Frank and say, "I shot this drone down. I want my new Tahoe."
You have to have video evidence of it. You shooting the drone. You have to have video evidence of you committing a crime in New Jersey, firing a gun in the air.
But I had a good workout today. Really working my legs, as you know, from my back.
So drone shooting down to the good workout, working on his legs. He had the back surgery, so he's working on his legs. Never forget leg day. We got to give that credit to Frank. Never forget leg day.
Back surgery in July. Really got to get those legs back. I'm telling you, folks, we talk about Alex all the time. You have to work those legs, work the quads and all that good stuff. And I'm wishing everyone a good day. My Eagles. Go Philly. Go Philly.
Oh, Alex with the drop there. Go Philly. Alex still thinks football is a soccer game.
I do like the glasses of the day, though. The blue frames. Those are styling.
Yeah, those are sure. And again, bless Frank's heart for being so focused on fitness at such a tender age of 74.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him.
Go Bills. Go Detroit.
Yes.
And that's when he goes and talking about the underdogs. Okay. Now it's the same day, I think. Now we've got the camera. Alex is holding the camera. We got Alex
is
in the
on
video.
camera.
Yeah. And I just love how Alex is on camera. But you'll see in this video, Alex will try to say a couple things. He'll try to interject. Frank just kind of steamrolls over Alex. Like Alex is there, sure, but he's also not there at the same time. I think Frank appreciates it when he's behind the camera, not in front of the camera.
Here with Coach Alex. How you doing today, Alex?
We're doing good. We did legs early morning.
Yeah.
In and out.
In and out.
Texting.
No texting. Out within less than.
So here we go. Now we're getting the scolding. Doug, you go to the gym. He's going to scold. They're both going to scold people who text at the gym. Let's hear what they have to say first, and I want you to respond to their criticism.
An hour. Just come in with your program set. Yep. You don't have to do more than 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps. Boom, boom, minute rest. And really, you're out of there lingering. I mean, some people spend more time texting in between sets than working out. And their bodies show it, right?
You have to keep the connection between your brain and your muscles.
That's right.
I love how he says, and their bodies, I love the shaming though, and their bodies show it. They text more than they work out. And they're at the gym, Frank. They're trying. They're getting distracted. They're talking to their friends. They're resting too long between reps. I'm not a gym guy, so I can't comment. However, I just love how, but at the same time, their bodies are showing it. They're showing it. Doug, your thoughts on this?
The thing is that neither Frank, Alex should know better, but neither of them know what anybody's personal goals are. Okay, there is reasons between shorter rest periods and longer rest periods. And they both have a purpose in the gym. So don't criticize people for taking longer. If they want to take a 5, 6, 7 minute rest in between sets so they can get back up to full strength so they can lift a heavier amount of weight next time, that's on them. It's none of Frank's business. Just mind your own and do your workout and stop looking at other people.
Well, how do they know the data on that? Are they wasting their time by watching other people?
That's right.
Yep.
And so we had a good workout.
Not your brain and your phone.
No. Yeah, so we had a really good workout.
Yes.
And, season's coming, so people are going to be eating, but everything in moderation.
Yeah, moderation. Go for a walk.
Yeah.
Try to exercise every other day. I know you have a lot of time now, so
go a little light on the baba ganoush, right?
Yeah.
Go a little light on the Lebanese food. Well, actually, the Lebanese food's actually good if you're working
the Mediterranean diet is the best.
Yeah, it's great. So we'll see you soon, and God
keep
bless.
punching.
Keep punching.
I think we got an answer on Alex's lineage. Was he Lebanese?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, because Frank's mentions Lebanese, but even Alex, but the Mediterranean diet's better.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're going to get into some of the dirty, gritty stuff here, guys. This is where it gets pretty serious, okay? I think the fires have now entered the timeline. The fires have entered Frank's timeline. Here we go.
Oh, the fires.
Good morning. I think my theories were right all along. I think it's arson. I don't know how an ember gets from Pacific Palisades and flies all over to the Hollywood Hills and starts a massive fire that fast. An ember. This is a conspiracy. These are the people most likely that came into this country illegally.
How does he get from the fires to illegal immigration?
They're the only ones to commit crime. Are you not tracking what Frank says here? I know California's had wildfires in the past. This is not the first year they've had fires. Arson / or negligence, at the very least, is a real thing. We have this way in Canada. We have on the western provinces. We have BC fires in British Columbia. They're really bad. We've had some bad ones. I think more than not, Doug, unfortunately, it's bad campers, negligence. It's not necessarily on purpose, but it is human error.
Yeah.
But Frank is going right away that He feels that these fires 100% are committed by illegal aliens. That's it.
That's a leap.
It's the same leap that Ember took from the Palisades to the Hollywood Hills.
Yeah.
Or they're just people that are dissidents and terrorists.
Oh, okay. So illegal immigrants, dissidents, or terrorists, or all the above. Okay.
California has wildfires every single year. This one
Well, they have illegal
particularly
immigrants
bad
every
one.
year.
Yeah.
They have illegal immigrants every year.
It's always their fault.
Yes. Are you not understanding what the problem with California is?
Yeah, my bad.
It's the governor, the mayor, illegal immigrants in that order. Okay.
All right. That's fair.
The Palisades, it's a horrible thing that happened, but the majority of the people in the Palisades are woke liberals.
Okay. Now this is key. So he's saying that the majority of the people that live there are woke liberals. Now, I'm going to give you two options. Does Frank feel bad for their situation, or does he feel they had it coming? Which one would you pick?
Now, if I'm Frank, I'm thinking God. He's big on religion lately. God is striking down these Hollywoods, like the Hollywood elites. Like he struck down Sodom and Gomorrah for all their peder.
Yeah, I agree. There's nothing but crime is happening in the Palisades.
You voted these people in. You voted Bass in. You voted Newsom in. Okay? The councilmen and all. They're all left-wing woke. And this is what you get. And this is what's happening. It's tragic and it's horrible. We have a fire chief. She's not qualified to be the fire chief.
Okay, this is what you get. I think he doubles down that later in the video, but let's make this clear. Can you imagine people's livelihood being destroyed, their homes that they built, the homes that they earned by hard work or industry or whatever? They're not rich by accident. Most of them, work to get there. Mm-hmm. Let's just be honest. Good for them. That's the American dream, right? And he's saying, because you voted in someone that I don't agree with, this is what you get for voting in for, I love how these poor people are being punished, as he assumes, because they're all liberal. That's another amazing Ember leap.
I'm not so sure. The more I watch Frank, the more I think I'm not so sure that he has an original thought in his head, too, because all he's doing, and I know all of this because
sure,
I think me and Frank have similar algorithms because I see all the videos that he sees, but he's just regurgitating stuff that he hears other people say. Like the whole LA fire chief thing, being a lesbian woman and how she wasn't qualified. She's a DEI hire, blah, blah, blah. Sure. But he's regurgitating other shit that people say.
Yeah, he's now allowed to be braver than ever before. You're absolutely right. And we have the same algorithms too, because it's entertaining for me. And I know what he's regurgitating. You're absolutely correct about that. But he's Frank Stallone. He's saying, I was always right. I was always right about this. But the key part I want to focus on is the people that voted are getting what they deserve. That's his philosophy. And let me make this clear. People on the other side, if they feel that America is going to fall apart because Trump's in power, remember, don't be like Frank. Don't say to the poor citizens that they're going to get what they deserve because they voted. That's maybe a lesson we should both learn on both sides of the fence. Is maybe sometimes we just do the best we can with the information we have. And I don't think anyone's house should be burned down or flooded or destroyed or robbed or looted because they voted one way or the other. But that's just Ryan. I'm too much of a centrist,
Try not to wish the worst horrors on people, because they who cast stones should not live in glass houses. Is that the saying?
Yeah.
It could come back on YouTube.
Want a
Frank.
tough guy that's been around on the force.
Oh, so he's just saying here, you don't want a black woman to be the mayor or the fire chief. Or sorry, the fire chief is a lesbian. That's right. The chief is a white lesbian. You don't want a white lesbian to be the fire chief. You want a tough dude who's been doing this for 25 years. A tough guy. He's got to be that tough guy. Yeah. I just want somebody who's experienced. That's all. And knowledgeable.
Somebody that can do the job.
They don't have to be tough. They just have to be knowledgeable, and whatever that person is, male, female, sexual, religion, I don't give a flying F. They can be a lesbian, Jewish immigrant from Africa. I don't care. Just do the job and do the best you can with the information you have as well. Like, we don't know what any of these people, I don't know. We're casting a lot of aspersions, a lot of people, a lot of blames being tossed around, and we don't even know what people know, what they knew when they had it. I don't even know.
Now, let me give you a real world example here. The guy that runs my son's baseball program is a retired fire chief here in New Jersey, and he's not a big tough guy. He's very well spoken, kind of nerdy, but very, very, very knowledgeable. Very smart guy.
But he's not a tough guy.
That's the kind of guy. He's not a tough guy. He's a knowledgeable guy. Very smart. That's the kind of guy or person. Guy, girl, that's who I want running my fire department.
But Frank comes from the school of thought of, or the school of thinking of, everyone's going to be tough. It's always this tough, like this. Yeah.
Chief, she's not qualified to be the fire chief. You want a tough guy that's been around on the force for 20, 25 years and seen it all. It's just diversity. It's a bunch of bull. And this is the result you get. And I don't know what it's going to take for you to listen and find out. My prayers go out to all the people, but sometimes you get what you ask for.
Wow.
My prayers go out to all the people, but you ask for it.
Now, Frank, come here, Frank. I got to talk to you. I'm assuming that you don't live in the Hollywood Hills or the Palisades because you don't make, you're not sitting on $800 million. But if your house burnt down, would you be taking the same stance that, did you get what you deserve if your house burnt down?
No, he got what he deserved living in a little apartment because that's what he makes. So he did get what he deserved.
Okay.
And our prayers are with everyone. So have a great day.
Now, but he absolved himself, though, that his prayers are with everybody.
Yeah.
Have a great day with your burnt down house. But you'll catch something at the very end of this video, Doug. He's about to talk about his hair or something, but he cuts it off. It's very subtle. It's like a second long, but he's about to segue to talk about his hair because there's an edit that comes because he starts the second video.
With everybody. So have a great day. Hey.
See? He goes, hey, and he looks at his hair. I think he's about to say something about his hair. And he either cut it off because he didn't make it public.
Yeah. So he edited that for sure.
Yeah, he did edit that out. Now he's going to part 2. He's not done talking about the fire. So this next video, he starts it again, and he tells you what he thinks should happen to the arsonists. Do you want to guess what you think he should do to the arsonists? Do you want to take a guess?
Death penalty.
If they are caught, the police have every right to shoot them.
What?
Okay, Doug, you're a police officer, right?
I certainly am. Yeah.
Okay, let's just have a scenario here where you have arrested. Let's say you're in the Palisades Police Department. You have now arrested an arsonist. Mm-hmm. Before you put him in the car, do you A, put cuffs on him, or B, put a bullet in his head? Go.
Whose laws am I following? The Lord and Savior Frank Stallone or the laws of the land? Because
maybe just Doug. Would Doug shoot this guy in the head?
Okay, so normal common sense laws, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, you don't shoot people on sight, Frank. Even if they are suspected of starting the fires, they are entitled to a fair trial in front of a jury of their peers. Cops are not the judge, jury, and executioner. We don't shoot people because we suspect that they committed a crime.
Hey, you're that guy that committed that crime? Boom.
Especially arsonists.
You're absolutely right. Now he's going to go into looting. There was reports of looting. I get it. Yeah. I get it's crimes of opportunity. So yeah, homes are abandoned. Sure. People are going to go loot. That's a real thing. Absolutely. This is what you do with looters.
Offense. If you read the law during the San Francisco earthquake, you could be shot for looting. You're taking advantage of poor people that have lost everything. And we need to help these people. Stop posting pictures of 100.
Now he gets into, don't post the pictures of the beautiful mansions that are burnt down. He wants you to post instead the pictures of the pathetic houses and the poor people's houses that are burnt down. There's the saying that it rains on the just and the unjust. I get it. It also fire hurt poor and rich people. That's the reality of this terrible disaster. Both those who are wealthy and not wealthy homes were destroyed. But he's saying, let's just focus on the plight of the poor and post their pictures on social media. So go out there, folks, and start posting poor people's homes is what he's saying.
$100 million house burning. Post pictures of people that can't pay their bills that are wiped out forever. They don't have insurance. Those are the people I feel sorry for because they can't rebuild. Okay? And we need to revamp this whole thing. Bass needs to step down. We have to get rid of Governor Newsom. We got to get rid of the fire chief. We got to do a clean sweep to have this state run well again. Okay?
So basically, Frank is saying we got to burn it all to the ground.
Start clean. Start with a fresh slate. All burnt ashes. Sweep away the ashes and grow anew.
Again, my prayers and thoughts are with all the people, but you have to think.
Okay, but you have to think. Now this is great. I thought I had the picture here for this. So Frank Stallone got dressed up. He's on Fox Business Live.
Wow, this I didn't hear about. This is outrageous. Why would you tap Frank for a comment?
Now, Fox, as we know, is a conservative news network, and even this newscaster, I've edited this, of course, for time, but even this host or news host, even she's a little bit like, Frank, that might be a little bit too much Fox News. So the show is Fox Business for some reason. I don't know why he's on Fox Business. However, I took a photo of the YouTube video. It's not in this screenshot. I apologize. But basically, it's, you know what they said? It said, for the title of the video on YouTube is what I'm getting at. It said, Stallone's brother talks about XYZ. It literally says Stallone. It says Stallone's brother. It didn't even say his name.
It's been haunting this man for years.
Oh, there it is. Sorry, there it is right there. You see it in the bottom?
Oh, yeah.
Stallone's brother goes off on inept leadership. California middle lower class wiped out. So there you go. That's what the YouTube title of this video is Stallone's brother. Okay, here we go.
Governor Newsom tries to weasel out of blame with his claims about the reservoir, and he's called out about it. Your reaction?
It's all a bunch of jaw tackle. Everything starts from the top to the bottom, and everyone is complicit in it. Quinis should be fired for Department of Water and Power. I don't know how you have a reservoir.
Okay, now this is key. I love this. Check this out.
It's not like the Palisades is a metropolis. It's a small, quaint little town. And how the reservoir has been empty since July, that's my birthday, that's 6 months ago.
I can't believe you broke up with me 2 months before my birthday.
What the hell's he doing?
I just love how he said the reservoirs have been empty since, just by the way, it's my birthday.
I know.
6 months ago was my birthday, July, just so you know.
I didn't hear a happy birthday from you guys.
Which makes no sense. We just have ineptness everywhere. And this should have, I mean, of course we can't control, the winds and stuff, but I believe there's a lot of arson. I think it's environmental terrorism going on. I don't know how an ember goes from Pacific Palisades 8 miles to the Hollywood Hills.
We don't know.
So the newscaster, whoa. Okay, we don't really know how it started. Just before you said the words terrorism, you're saying conspiratorial stuff. Even Fox News. Okay,
That's the thing. There's still no answers about the cause. And it's obviously until they can get people safe and get the ground cooled off. We're not going to know. I agree.
So she's okay. We don't know yet. It hasn't been verified. We're still just trying to save homes and lives, and we haven't quite figured out which illegal immigrant to blame just yet, Frank. So just wait just a second, please.
After the November election, Newsom announced his plans to, quote, Trump-proof the Golden State. How about fireproofing the Golden State?
That's not going to work now. I mean, Trump was saying 4 years ago they would clean that brush and on and on. But I mean, again, everyone is like passing the buck. And all these people, probably 94% of them, vilified me because I've been coming on Fox. I've been going online for 4 years stating.
So now he's talking about how he's been vilified by 94% of Hollywood because of his time on Fox News. But he's really taken on this role now. Yeah. This is his new acting gig, right? The songs are over, the movies are over. His new acting gig now is a talking head on Fox.
This is his way to get into the spotlight because according to him, 6% of Hollywood, only 6% is right-leaning. So he's a big fish in a small pond right there. When the other 94% have vilified him, have excommunicated him. Now he has a platform and he can get out in front.
In my case, it's probably wrecked my...
Now he's going to say something again about how we should deal with these arsonists, and she kind of shuts down the interview pretty quickly.
career, whatever's left of it. But now everyone is like rah rah, you know. But they were all like left wing blues that voted these people in office, and now that their homes burnt down, forget the poor people in Altadena. These poor people are finished. Mm-hmm. And now we have looters. To me, is the lowest form of life you could have. I mean, they're finding people that are looting these poor people that have lost everything. I mean, what kind of a human being does that? You know, in 1906, during the San Francisco, it was legal to shoot looters. I don't know if you do that now, but in those days, they did.
Well, you know? That's why a lot of people are pointing to the difference between Gavin Newsom and...
Okay, so she steps in there. Okay, we don't want to start advocating. Even Fox News is like, we don't want to advocate the shooting of looters on our TV show.
This is why you can't put a lunatic on live TV. You need to be able to edit somebody like him.
As the time is recording, you might have heard Beyoncé won Best Country Album of the Year. I should ask you before I share Frank's opinion on this. Do you, nobody asked for Frank's opinion on Beyoncé.
Yes, that's a big number one.
But two, do you think Frank supported Beyonce's winning of the Country Grammy Album of the Year, or what do you think?
I'm going to say no, and I'm also going to say that he, being a man of music, he's going to list just a litany of artists who were better than her, better suited than her to win this.
You have got to be kidding me. Beyoncé gets Best Country Album against Lainey Wilson, Post Malone, Chris Stapleton, Carrie Musgroves. Come on now. This is why the Grammys suck. She's not a country artist.
And she's black. Let's be clear.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Other people, their whole life is country music. This is what makes it so bad. I'll tell you, honest to God, it's you know, I don't begrudge anyone winning, but fair is fair.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that last?
Apparently you do. That's a big begrudging you're doing right now.
Fair, that's ridiculous. Someone got paid off. Sorry.
Now, he's accusing Beyonce of paying off. Just think about that for a second. She literally went to the Grammy deciding council and said, hey, here's $100 million. I want the Grammy. She either did that or she didn't. Do you think she literally paid somebody off? Yes or no?
No, I don't.
I don't think so.
Doesn't she have Grammys?
She is the first black American, first black woman, I should say, to win Country Album of the Year. Now, I did a little bit of research, and I'm going to end on this because ignorance usually is very telling when people make blank statements. I'm going to say this: I'm going to make a bold statement. Maybe I'm crazy. Imagine if this album, song for song, note for note, everything was exactly the same, but Taylor Swift wrote it or performed. I should say performed the vocal work. So I'm talking every single song was composed exactly the same, but everywhere you heard a Beyonce vocal, it was a Taylor vocal.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
In
this universe, and if this album won Best Country of the Year, people would have said, oh, this was a bit of a different sounding country album. Isn't that really crazy that Taylor went for this kind of sound in country? You get what I'm saying? This is my centrism coming through. Now, I also did a little bit of research. I thought maybe the album's crap. Maybe the album isn't country. So I went to Wikipedia. Check this out. The album genre, country Americana. So even Wikipedia labels it as a country album. Okay. Then I went, okay, fine. Maybe Wikipedia was paid off by Beyonce. Then I went to the professional ratings. It has a perfect score from Metacritic, All Music, the Daily Telegraph, The Guardian, The Independent, The MSN, The Observer, Rolling Stone. Every single conglomerate gave it a perfect score. Okay. I'm like, okay, maybe that's just they were paid off too. Then I went to Billboard. Number one. I said, well, maybe all the fans were paid off to buy the album. Okay. Then I went to the legacy of the album. Check this out. For example, Cowboy Carter increased the listenership of country music and made it more accessible to new audiences with publications describing it as a cultural shift, a watershed moment, a tipping point in the genre's history. The album itself drove over 36 million people to stream country music for the first time on Spotify. That's just the first sentence. So what I'm getting at is this album got 36 million listens from audiences saying, you know what? Because Beyonce is doing this genre, I'm going to listen to country. You know, the old saying, a rising tide raises all ships, right? People flooded the country part of Spotify because of Beyonce's support of it, and other artists within the country genre, black and white, were lifted because of her entry with this album. That's just the skim in the top of my reading.
And that makes total sense when you kind of peel back the layers of the onion there. And let's look at it this way too. Country music isn't the pling, pling, plingy stuff from like the 1970s and 80s like it used to be. Dolly Parton and Randy Travis and those guys. It resembles more pop music now than it ever has, than traditional country. Just because Beyonce dipped her toe in and did something that slightly resembles country and, you know, made a country album out of it, it, like you said, it boosted everything else in the genre up, and it probably did wonders for the country movement. And I didn't know all of that. So all of that is like kind of remarkable information. No, I was going to say, could it actually be that maybe she did deserve the award?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Or you can think of it this way too. All these award shows are nothing but popularity contests anyway, and it means nothing. It means nothing.
And that's just it too. I did my own little digging on the Cowboy Carter album because people can argue they don't like it, but I guarantee you there have been a myriad of different examples of best albums winning throughout the years where people didn't agree with the choice. But of course, Beyonce has to be criticized for winning this.
You couldn't pick a more out of touch individual to comment on this than Frank too, because he's not the target demographic for Beyonce or country or anything.
What?
Like today's country.
4-year-old white man?
But being a career musician, he feels like he can comment on it because he's in the industry. Frank, you're wrong.
Okay, so Frank did say here, I had a glimmer of something. I maybe hope. He forgot to write a word here. He's showing a Grammy. I had a glimmer of, I guess, hope. He didn't write the word of, but again, the Grammy sucked the big one. Is he referring to a penis? So he says here, DEI to the max. Whoa! It is because she's black. Think about that for a second. He's calling it out. He's saying that Beyonce only won. Now, I don't think DEI falls into the... She didn't get hired. She wasn't hired to work at the Grammys.
He's losing the thread here.
And now he's talking to Beyonce. I'm done, Beyonce. Or no, sorry, his grammar's horrible. Sorry. He says,
no
done.
comma, no.
Yeah, I'm done. Beyonce should return her Grammy. That was a farce. And then he goes on to say the Beatles, who have been dead for 60 years, lose to Kendrick Lamar for Record of the Year. So, of course, the Beatles, you know, they had that one song that came out there was that redone lost track that was redone or whatever. I love the Beatles, but yeah, can we give it to someone who's alive? Oh, Kendrick Lamar, good for him. One of the better rappers in the world today. So he's mad that the Beatles lost to, guess what? Kendrick Lamar, is he white or black? Guess.
I'm not a betting man.
So anyway,
DEI in the Grammys. I don't think it applies here, Frank.
Yeah, he's really mad about her winning this. It's odd.
Yeah. But I don't think this is the right hill to die on either. You have some maybe valid complaints, Frank, when it comes to the world of DEI, but this isn't the right one.
No. We spent this whole time on this video thus far talking about Frank's very bold, very strong, very passionate, which I love about America. I love that America and Canada, more America than Canada, I love that America allowed me to have this kind of free speech. I love it. I absolutely love. But then we can also talk about the free speech that, you know, we can comment on that free speech. That's what I love about free speech is we get to comment on it. We get to listen to it. We get to agree or disagree. Mm-hmm. And you might be worried though, Doug, hearing him say these very strong things about Hollywood and all this stuff. Are you worried that he might be canceled? And so he's been asked by his fans, Frank, aren't you worried about being canceled?
Good morning, everybody. You may or may not know, I've been doing the talk show circuit, and I've done 2 Newsmaxes, 3 Newsmaxes, 2 News Nations, and 1 Fox. Talking about the fires, talking about the mismanagement of Los Angeles.
You know what? You know why? Because you mentioned this earlier. It's, hey, who can we get that's some sort of celebrity that's not afraid to crap on liberals?
Mm-hmm.
Top of the list, Frank Stallone. He addresses that. Like, I'm going out there and I'm showing you that I'm not afraid to talk about these things. But now people are afraid for Frank, for his career. His fans are afraid for this.
Talking about actors that are now protesting, but they voted these people in office. You know, people say, you've always talked out. Aren't you afraid of being canceled? And I've said it, I'll say it again. The only way that can cancel me is God.
Don't you have to have a career in order to be canceled?
I know. That's exactly it, Doug. It's not even funny anymore. You're not brave. You can't cancel that which you don't have.
I guarantee you that 0 people asked Frank, "Are you afraid of being canceled?" He just,
how dare you?
That's just his mind.
Or
he just wants to address how brave
stupid,
he is.
which I hope not to do.
The only person that can cancel him is God. I think God did it about 35 years ago, 4 years ago.
With one swipe of his hand, he took a career away from you.
After that Staying Alive hit or whatever that was called, or what's that? What's that song called again? Going the Distance Live, or what's it called? I don't even remember. Anyways, here we go. So God can cancel Frank.
Canceled. And I've said it, I'll say it again. The only way that can cancel me is God. Or myself doing something stupid, which
try to have a career in Hollywood and music.
Riding your brother's coattail.
I hope not to do. But my faith is in God that will straighten things out. 4 more days and we have a great new president, a great new administration. These 2 idiots are out that have basically almost destroyed the country.
I think you pointed at us when you did that, Doug. I don't think I appreciate that.
These 2 idiots. You have to isolate these 2 idiots and put that in the intro.
And I'm really looking forward to it. I love watching the hearings. The Democrats know they're finished. They're finished. They're finished in Hollywood. They're going to be done. You know, with all the crazy stuff they put forth. But anyway, keep your chin up. Keep your right hand up. And we're going to win.
You already won. What do you mean we're going to win? You won. Your party won.
What if you're a lefty?
So he's got part 2. He's not done yet. He's got part 2. Now he's going to show you the mug that he's drinking out of. He actually drank out of this mug when he was on the News Nation or Fox Live or whatever, Fox Business Live. It's a brass knuckle handle. He'll mention that in the audio here.
To continue, I love these brass knuckle coffee cups. They're so comfortable. If you can drop this, you're pretty dumb. But anyway.
Why is he sipping
He's
like
always
that too?
It's slurping. He's slurping.
It's such a flex. Like, I've got a brass knuckle coffee mug, but the coffee mug is in the way of the knuckles. If you were to punch somebody with that, like, anyways.
Yeah, those are supposed to go over your.
Are afraid you're going to be canceled. Yeah, I'm not afraid of agents and these Hollywood guys that are.
So he's going on again. Like, he's really concerned about. I don't know. Is he actually kind of concerned about being canceled? Because he's doubling down on the fear of not being canceled. Like,
did I protest too much?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not gay.
yeah.
I'm not racist. I've talked to a black person. Come on.
Some of my best friends are black.
They're always saying, "Are you afraid you're going to be canceled?" No, I'm not. I'm not afraid of agents and these Hollywood guys that are afraid of their own shadow. You know, I'm not afraid of them. You know what? I'm 74 years old. Whatever's going to happen to my career has happened. And if anything does happen, that's just icing on the cake.
Yeah, it's. We've said this, Frank. It's over. It's
Yeah.
Oh, far from over. Yeah, far from over.
Oh, there you go. That's the one. He compares himself like saying, "I'm not one of these Hollywood guys that's afraid of their own shadow." You're not one of those Hollywood guys. Period. Stop.
Exactly.
Stop comparing yourself to people that matter. Not even matter, but people that are
I know.
famous.
Hey, Doug. I'm not afraid of being in a cop shootout. By the way, I'm not afraid to be in the police officer shootout. I'm not afraid.
Oh, that's your.
You know why?
So brave.
But I'm not afraid. Because I'm not a cop. But I'm not afraid. I'll tell you that much. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about being fired from the police department. I'll tell you that much. I'm not worried about it.
At this point, I'm not going to prostitute myself or sell myself down the tubes to get approval from these Hollywood people who I basically don't like anyway.
Okay, that's not true. I guarantee you, if somebody offered him, he'd say $1 billion, become a liberal, he would do it in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't even kid yourself.
It's the old signing your soul over to the devil for the right amount of money. But and he says like he doesn't like any of these Hollywood people. Anyway, how many name drops have we pointed out in the months that we've been doing this? He loves pointing out his friends.
They're not offering him. They're not offering him roles. If he was offered roles, if he was in Brad Pitt films, Leonardo DiCaprio films, Christopher Nolan films, Steven Spielberg films, put it this way: if he was an A-list actor, even a B-list actor on TV, yeah, he'd keep his mouth shut and he wouldn't be on like this because he'd want to keep his job. I'm sorry. Like,
at the very least, he would keep his mouth shut. But
yes,
if he really had to, he would definitely go left to stay relevant.
Are there conservatives in Hollywood? Yes, there are. We just don't know who they are. Because just know, I'm just keep my mouth shut. I can vote who I want. My political party is private, and that's every right. They're allowed to be private about it. They just don't talk about it. They just don't bring it up.
Right.
Yeah.
I have great friends in Hollywood. Don't get me wrong. A lot of actors I like. A lot of directors I like.
Now, did you hear that? A lot of actors I like. A lot of directors I like. Check out what he says next. I can't even believe he says this, but here we go.
But on a whole, I don't like actresses. I don't.
Oh, man. And I don't think any female should be police either. I like all the male police officers, but I don't like any female ones.
I don't know if this is medication or what, but he doesn't even correct himself because he actually mentions. So let's just go back to in case you think I'm misquoting him.
I have great friends in Hollywood. Don't get me wrong. A lot of actors I like. A lot of directors I like. But on a whole, I don't like actresses. I'm not really into these people. They're just insecure.
Wow.
What an odd thing to say. I think he's talking about females. I don't know what else to say. He doesn't correct himself. He kind of doubles down on it.
No, he's definitely talking about females who we all know are all emotional.
Narcissistic.
Jeez, he's tripling down.
Scared people, afraid of offending, afraid of this. I don't feel I'm offending anybody. Contrary to the fact, I'm just being me.
And therein lies the issue.
I'm just a concerned American, hoping whatever time I have left on this earth can be good.
Okay, sure. I hope for that too. Absolutely. He's going to say something here, Doug, that's very telling. He's going to talk about that he doesn't have a lot to leave behind, and I think he's forgetting that he has somebody in his life.
For myself and for everyone else. I don't have a great progeny to leave behind or anything like that. But
he's basically saying he doesn't have a mansion like his brother, you're right, to leave behind a $500 million estate to his 3 daughters. But doesn't he have a son? Am I wrong? Are we misunderstanding that he might have a son out there that he could leave something to?
If you look up the definition of progeny, it's even more of a slap in the face. A descendant or the descendants of a person. So he doesn't have a descendant to leave anything to. Yeesh.
Like this is real talk. This is real talk. I'm not even trying to be funny. He has at least a couple $1 million at liquid cash, at least somewhere. If you look at his net worth, I think it's 5 or 6 million at least.
Mm-hmm.
So if and when he does pass away, like Frank's not going to live to 500. Like he's going to die between now and 1,000. Let's just be fair, right? when he dies, I assume he has a will. He has a son who could use a couple dollars. We all could. Can you imagine having a parent, Doug, who had a couple $1 million in the bank account and doesn't give it to you when they pass? What a big F you.
Yeah, I know. It is.
It kind of breaks my heart. I admit, I'm a father, Frank. We're both parents ourselves, and I just can't imagine not reaching out and rectifying my relationship with my kid, especially in your elder years, when all you have left is this. Is this the legacy you want to leave behind that it didn't reconcile? Sorry, my time.
Mm-hmm. There's a belief or saying that if a parent-child relationship is fractured, it's the parent's fault. Like it's up to the parent to mend it, to keep things going.
Yeah, I have 2 adult children, 25 and 26 years old. The 2 adult children who are both married, wonderful daughter-in-laws. I'm very blessed. And I don't wait for them to call me. I call and bug them. We have little chat groups and stuff, but when it comes time for FaceTime conversations, if you wait for your kid to reach out, it won't. Your job as the parent to reach out.
I agree.
But, I love my family.
Do you?
Well, who right there is Frank referring to when he says, I love my family? His brother, his nieces?
Yes.
Who do you love?
Yes, of course. Yes.
What's left of them. And
Oof. I don't even know what that means.
Didn't his mom die like last year?
His mom has passed away, but I know his biological father has passed away, of course. I think he lost a half brother recently too, right?
All right, so they're dropping like flies.
And I think people are good in general. I just think they're misguided.
Oh, it's a good thing you have a chance to guide somebody who you feel is misguided. So here's the thing. Let's pretend, you won't use him as an example because we don't want to have any slander. Let's pretend you're a dad and you have a kid you feel that has wronged you. And you just said that, hey, they're just misguided, that they're generally good. Then you should apply that philosophy on their own progeny by saying, hey, my son might just be a little misguided. Let me guide them. But the only way you can do this is by reaching out and talking to them.
Exactly.
Well, what do I know? I don't know.
You still talk to your kids.
Oh, okay.
You can't really insert yourself into that world,
I'm just actually taking Frank's advice and using it in a theoretical situation, not his, of course.
That's what I think. It's always been that way. I think people in general want to do good things, but I think a lot of them are just misguided. But on that note, keep your faith. Keep your faith. Keep your faith.
All right, there you go. Very powerful episode today, Doug. Very powerful episode.
We went deep. Frank's losing his mind. I'm afraid that these Instagram reels they're getting more and more ridiculous.
The world's becoming more and more ridiculous. That's the problem. This is the world we're living in. It's literally burning around us, Doug. It's burning. We got drones falling out of the sky. We've got fires burning down our homes. We've got inept fire chiefs. We've got inept governors, and we have black females winning country music awards. This world is ending.
Yeah, I see that. I just want to go back to having fun, hearing about his day at the gym, hearing about his boxing, what he ate for breakfast, whatever. A day in the life of Frank. We're getting
a little bit of that, a little bit. We'll find out on our next episode of Frank Stallone, who is this guy. Maybe the world will be a little bit like Trump will be president for a month or two longer since he's real. So maybe we'll get some brighter news because his president's in power. So things should be back to normal and everything should be good to go. So maybe we'll get back to the gym talk and the diet talk and maybe some dating talk. I won't say who or how, by the way. I won't say who or how. I did see a picture of Frank Stallone's girlfriend.
Okay.
She's pretty.
Good for him. That's good for Frank.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll make you a happier person.
I hope so. And I wish he would maybe she's asked not to be posted, so that's why I can't say who or how I got the photo. But I've seen it. I've seen it with her, and she's a pretty gal. So good for you, Frank. We wish you peace and happiness. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining us. And
always remember, give your life to God because, he's going to save you.
Keep the faith. Keep the faith. God bless. Peace to everyone, whoever your God is, especially the Jesus one.
That concludes another episode of Frank Stallone. Who is this guy?